The Deere & Company board is announcing plans to repurchase some $8 billion in common stock. The company says it's a testament to Deere's confidence in its own future. We're less than a month away from a new year, and as we approach the end of 2013, what does it mean for corn and soybean price movement? Editor Chip Flory and senior market analyst Brian Grete join us from the Pro Farmer Studios in Cedar Falls, Iowa for this week's Profit Briefing. Gentlemen.
We are less than 3 weeks from Christmas. We're getting right into the end of the year, Brian. And this year in particular, I think, the end of the year and everything that goes along with it, we got to do some window dressing and book some profits, is going to have an impact on corn and soybean trade.
It sure should. You know, I think as we look at it right now, the corn market still struggling to put in a low, but we're starting to see some signs that it may be working on that. You know, and time and price is the two ways you can put in a low, and I think that we're close on both of those parameters. You know, seasonally it should be time-wise. Price-wise, it feels like we've fallen far enough.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like we've been low enough, long enough to start to bring in some of that demand that the corn market desperately needs.
Well,
no question
most
about
definitely.
that.
I think we've seen that reflected in the weekly export sales over the last month, especially, you know, running at or above 1 million metric tons on a consistent basis there. So, you know, that demand is there. But, you know, with all that said, even if we do put in a low, I still think it's corrective in nature. You know, we're not wildly bullish looking for an extended price rally, anything like that.
Yeah, one of the things that I think we really need to pay close attention to is the fund position, the professional trading funds. They're still short. They need to take some profits on those positions.
Right. Into the end of the year, I think that's exactly what they'll do. They'll make themselves look good for the year. They'll bank some profits on those short positions that they've held now for a long time. And that doesn't mean they'll get out of their net short position, but they'll lighten up and they will take some profits.
You know, one of the things that's been helping us out here a little bit on corn and even wheat exports, not so much on wheat exports, but on corn exports, is the dollar. We've seen a little bit of weakness in the U.S. dollar that's helped to make us more competitive around the world.
Right, and the dollar is going to remain weak. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I think it's going to remain under par. We do get into these periods where we'll see a little bit of price strength, but there is no extended price strength in the dollar, and as a result, it does help us on the.
So the overall negative tone in the dollar is probably having an influence on some of the outside markets and crude oil in particular.
Yeah, and I think that we've seen the price action in the crude oil market here recently start to turn up, and it probably turned up a little bit quicker than most were anticipating. You know, we anticipated a little bit deeper pullback, but with it turning up, we could see some other flow of money into the commodity side of things.
Okay, now very quickly, soybeans, we got to keep a close eye on what's going on in South America, and what's the fund position going into the end of the year?
Well, they're long there. Record production in South America is what we're staring, square at right now. So, a little bit different situation. We could see them roll out of some of those long positions there, take some profits on the long side of the market, and especially with the South American crop. But as we move forward, record production down there, but we will have a weather scare at some point in time.
All right, let's connect some dots between crude oil and corn here real quick. We've got some short covering rallies going on, but when we get to the new year, the market's still going to be dealing with a big carryover on corn and increasing supplies of crude oil.
Right. Yeah, bearish from a fundamental standpoint, and that's why I say, hey, we're not wildly bullish here, not even expecting an extended price rally, but for the markets to potentially put in lows here and, gravitate higher a little bit.
Kind of a bear market rally into the end of the year in corn and crude.
Right, exactly.
All right, for Brian Grete and all the editors at Pro Farmer in Cedar Falls, Iowa, I'm Chip Flory.
Attend a Pro Farmer Profit Briefing seminar near you. Visit www.profarmer.com for the latest seminar schedule. Ag Day, brought to you by Ag Explore. Nurse your soil back to health with the right prescription of N-Zone and Prevent.